Hello, everybody. Reggie time here, and yeah, we're playing some six-card stuff again. We stacked somebody our very first hand. This is the absolute start of the session. First hand at this table. We played two hands at this table. We already felt in somebody for 42 big blinds, so it's been a nice start to the session. I know I said last week that we won't be having any videos for the rest of the month, probably, but I'm not starting work until 1 o'clock today, and some absolute cunt knocked on my door very aggressively twice at 9:15 with the parcels. So that was me awake. I then spent 45 minutes arguing with some right-wing working-class Tory cunts about the shit state England's in. Then I got fed up with that, and now we're playing some poker, so I thought I may as well fucking record it. So here we are. I know this video isn't going to do well in views, but the ones that do like it will really like it. And that's all that counts, really. My commitment to PLO6 is such this month that I have spent $40 on having good stats, so you guys can have a better understanding of just how bad the players are we're up against. If you look around the table, we've got 51, 70, 55, 54, 56, which isn't that loose in these games, to be fair. And this table, we've got a 70, a 66, an 81, and a 35. This guy up here was a 70 that we stacked. So, yeah. It will show you. It helps me. It's not just for you guys. It helps me. It helps me too. Like, saves me having to click on things all the time to get people's stats. We've got the ACC. We've got the Royal Flush Draw. This guy has a full house, so we're not going to win that one. So yeah, this is my commitment to PLO6 this for the rest of the month at least, or for the next 30 days maybe. Who knows? I've had something of a small windfall that's been the equivalent of maybe like 4 weeks poker earnings for me. So theoretically, I can just bum around in these games. I'm hoping to get into some poker clubs as well, because I've heard that they're quite good for PLO6 traffic. So yeah, I can commit the next few weeks to just playing PLO6, as long as I don't lose a fucking fortune, which I very much doubt that I will. Because my next 4 weeks poker income is effectively already been covered by a windfall that I've had. Right, what we're doing here, this guy is basically a maniac. Do I want to 3-bet here to force him out? I think I do. And then just like run it against him for 35. Oh, fuck, I didn't notice this cunt. Oh, well. We flopped top set anyway, because lucky cunt. Didn't realise this fucker was still in the pot. We've got top set and we've got a straight draw. We're probably going to be up against the hand that's reasonable equity against us here, but in they go. He's got a straight draw. We now have bought, so we don't really fucking care anymore. And all of a sudden, we've won almost 200 big blinds in a hobbit and a half. You love to fucking see it. You absolutely love to see it. I was talking to some people, well, one person in particular, about this game last night. I was trying to convince them that they would love it if they give it a try, and they weren't having it because they're a fucking, they're a dinosaur. But and yes, Duesenberg, I am talking to you. If you get it past the 3-minute 50 video, 3 minutes in appeal, which you won't, Duesenberg won't hear me call him a cunt here right now, because he'll already have turned off the minute he saw the 6 cards. But whether it's a correct strategy for this game in general or not, for these games in particular against these players, I think we just have a limp everything strategy and almost never 3-bet strategy, only 3-bet like the very best double suited aces, etc. Against people who have like way less than 100 blind stacks. I think you can just play a very, very limp, heavy strategy in these games, and then just be driven entirely by your equity post flop and have a like remarkably impressive win rate. I was like looking back over some of my stats in the Poker Bros groups as well and what have you, where you can look at your stats. And when I played PLO on other sites, PLO isn't a game, in my opinion, that you want to be doing an awful lot of like pre-flop 3-betting, like massively juicing pots up, because the players are generally so bad that you can juice pots post-flop when you make a good hand. My best results almost always come when I'm playing like a very limp heavy strategy, and then just using my equity to drive my post-flop decisions. Flop a big hand or flop a big draw, just keep mashing pot till all the money goes in. Flop a, have a reasonable hand pre-flop that just flops poorly, and just get away from it very, very cheaply. It works remarkably well, and I think you can absolutely print if you stick to that. Most of my biggest and most what would the word soul destroying losses in these games come when I try and make people fold pre-flop and then they don't, and then you get multi-way. You get to the flop, there's 44 blinds in the pot, you've got 90 in your stack or 80 something in your stack, so you've got SPR of 2, and you have an overpair on. So let's say you have aces and the board comes 9, 5 deuce, and you're like, right, well, okay, I'm all in then, I guess. And then the cunts just have whatever. Someone with all those cards between them just have a hand that's just cracked your. I thought I had aces here. I had not a good limp, but whatever. So yeah, I just think keeping pots small pre-flop and then just bloating them post-flop when you want to. It's like proper 2000 and fucking 4 style poker just works incredibly well, because you're playing against people, if you look around the tables, who are just very limited, and they're just never going to exploit you for that, or they're not going to exploit you anywhere near enough of a frequency for you to care. There'll be the odd person who'll be paying attention who won't pay you off, like this guy. He's going to know what I'm up to, and this guy's probably not going to pay me off when I have a very good hand. He's probably going to make some pretty comfortable tight folds against me. But the 70-14 and the 66-27 aren't, and the 70-31, they're not going to. They're just going to have the third nuts and say call, call, call. And that's all that matters. So yeah, I'm going to be playing these games for a little while, because they're just more fun. And hopefully we won't have as much of the variance that I've had in the past when I played PLO, because slowly but surely I feel like my strategy at PLO is just getting better. Even that theoretically, probably playing some pretty unsound poker, but in practice in these games, probably playing some pretty decent poker, I think. Hopefully this table refills. There are some other tables in the lobby at slightly smaller stakes. No, I will play. I wouldn't stay. Just say this guy left, for example. Double suited kings here. What can we raise it to? I mean, this might be. We might not. Oh, right. So this guy is now just left. So I'm happy with my squeeze now, because I don't mind just running it against a guy with 10 bigs. But I'm just trying to isolate the guy with 10 bigs here. Hopefully, Lucky Man just gets out of the way and doesn't fuck my equity up. Now look at that. Just another top set with a nut flush draw. Oh, he's got an equity though. He had equity, had a straight draw on the turn. So that's 3 top sets so far today we've had, and got paid on every one of them. Although that one was a nothing pot. So yeah, if this guy left, I will probably leave this table, because 50/6, it's not nitty by any stretch, but these are the guys you want, the 60 and the 70 V pips. They're the ones that make this game profitable, the most fun in my opinion. Some very, very bad aces here. I think we're on the button though, we're still going to raise. So we have basically one pair on a board where we could already be drawing close to dead. So we aren't going to be looking to put too much more money in this pot. Just try and take a hand to showdown and hope to beat something. One big blind, obviously never folding. Don't really expect to win too often. Oh, just rivered the top set. Rivered the top board, sorry, and value killed me with one big blind. And complete shit. This table's gone a bit boring too. Just a bunch of I don't know. I mean, they're not regs, because but they're just relatively boring to play against. We want at least one 70 V pip guy at the table. This tail probably won't break for a while now, I wouldn't imagine. But I want to be playing the 5-10 games when I can, and not the 4-8 games, even if maybe the 4-8 games might be a little bit better at this time. As I said before with these videos, I'm not getting back into being like an agent on the apps. I don't really have the time or the inclination to do that. But if any of you guys do see these games and they are just as good on Poker Bros, I would probably rather be playing on Poker Bros, but they're really fussy about making content using their software, so we can't. But if any of you guys want to look at the games on Poker Bros or on here or on U Poker, I can put you in touch with some pretty solid, reliable people who will help you into the games. I will get a small kickback, of course, but I'm not going to be going out spamming that. And like when I was being the agent in the past, I was making 3, 4, 5 videos a week. I was spamming the Facebook group like crazy. None of that's going to be happening. I'm just going to be making some content here and there, letting you know in every video. If you want to get in, just give us a shout and I can get you in. But that's going to be it. There's going to be no spam as such. I'm not out here looking to regenerate my past life as an app agent. I'm just genuinely playing in these games because I think they're really good and I enjoy them. And if some of you guys think, yeah, no, we'll follow Reggie, we'll have a go at this, then I can help you out navigating what can be quite a dodgy environment if you hook up with the wrong people. That's it. No more discussion on any of that. We're just going to play poker. We want to see a nice big juicy 70 VPIP take this seat eventually. That's what we want to see. I'm hoping to get in some U-Poker clubs later in the week because I believe there is more traffic and some slightly higher stakes games. These are just like 5-10 is effectively like 10 cents, 20 cents. So 100 big blinds is $20. I'd rather be playing just a notch higher because these games there's not always loads. If you start them, they will run. There's nothing wrong with being here. I don't mind being here at all. But part of me would like to play, like to see what other clubs look like too. Just spread my wings a bit and always be sure I can get action when I want it. What have we got here? We've got all kinds of like straight draws. And top 2 pair, but the board is very coordinated, so it's not a board where I'm going to want to pump a lot of money in just yet. 3 is a brick. So we still have top 2 pairs. We're still only behind 2 sets, and we do have quite a lot of straight outs. But again, we're still not going to block the pot too much because some of our outs are dirty to the red ones. That gives us the nuts, and we can try and represent missed draws here. So we're going to hope someone's got a set of 7s, a set of 9s, and we're just going to bet pretty big. And hope someone's in the sort of part of their range where they can pick us off. And we just chop it up with the Jack 10. $47.9 joins the ranks, which again, not someone I'm going to be remotely worried about playing, as in terms of like, oh, these are going to be good. Just irritatingly not a 70% VPIP guy. So again, we have 2 pair here and a pretty shit draw. 2 pair here and no draw really. Just letting the 2 pair go, and there's no real way to improve except to full houses. And yeah, don't like the spot. Here we still have 2 pair, but 1 blind we're going to call just to try and spike the 8. Basically, we now have a full house. 7's full of 7's full of 9s. So unless someone's got pocket 9s or pocket 6s, we basically have the nuts. We don't have much going on here. We have like a gut short, shit flush draw, 2 pairs to keep the pot small. Not going to be looking to bloat this pot anytime soon. Don't think we have any outs to the nuts whatsoever. We hit a jack, then ace queen beats us. Hit a flush, then many hands beat us. If we hit a 10, then we still lose to king's full and king 10. Just improve to a bigger 2 pair. We're just going to be check folding this river. We don't beat any value if he bets. And he just checks back a straight. Which, given the line I took, is pretty weak, I think. I think he just needs to value bet his straight there. Second nuts. Going to limb this. I thought we were button. If we were button, I would have raised. Cut off, we're just going to limp. This guy bets 1 big blind. Basically, just going to call it to try and hit an 8, I guess. Wouldn't be thrilled making a flush. And bets 1 blind again. Into 2 people, we just have. It says 2 pair. I guess we 8s and 5s. Not interested. So, not interested. And we were behind in 2 spots. Unsurprisingly. I have a very irritating tickle in my throat today. So we're going to see if we can resolve that by vaping, which probably won't fucking work. Probably have the opposite effect. Tables appear to be breaking. We may need to pause the video shortly and maybe move down to the lower stakes. He must have the yellow tag from playing Hold'em against him or something, because 54-29 does not get my yellow tag in these games. It gets my green tag. To re-equip myself with these stacks, actually. Don't know what they all mean. 12. Okay. I don't know why it has these stats. Don't think it used to have. Maybe it did. I don't fucking know. Maybe they've modified the hood. What my stats are in these games. Look at that. What a fucking monster stain on the game I am. What an enormous stain on the game. I should never get paid off. Never. Anyway, the tables have repopulated themselves and we can continue the grind. And I think I can grind these games because they're just not boring. We've all been there in our no limit hold'em sessions where we're at our 4 table or our 6 table cap or whatever. And like you can have 6 tables running, you can be playing 300 hands plus per hour, and it can still feel like nothing's happened for 2 hours. And that is not the case in these games. They will definitely keep you stimulated. Sometimes they'll have you tearing your fucking hair out, but they will definitely keep you stimulated. You don't really get that bored playing these games. I actually think if you're a recreational player, and I don't mean play on the apps, I mean just play anywhere. If you're a recreational player, I actually think that moving away from no limit hold'em, if you're a cash game player, and into another format of the game, be that hold'em, short deck, or whatever, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for you to do. If you're already just breaking even or losing, then just getting into games where people can't even spell poker and it's figuring stuff out. You're going to get more pleasure from that than you are grinding no limit for no profit month on month. We've got a full house here. I don't really know how, but we're going to bet it. Here we're going to check back our 2 pairs. We're going to bet the turn now. We pick up a flush draw. We've got 2 pair. We have the best draw. We also have the gut shot. This guy pots it here. We'll probably try and re-isolate. Don't love these aces. We do have a suited king as well, though. There's another top set. What a fucking life. Just going to pot here because the pot's small. If we've got someone set up a set, it would be delightful. No dice. I don't deserve to be paid. I'm such a fucking wanker. As you can see, raising in this game just doesn't achieve anything. If it achieved isolation, I would use a raise pre-flop strategy, but it just doesn't. People still just want to see flops. And then quite often, you know, you're up against 18 cards. This guy's up against 18 cards here. And it's very likely someone, if you don't have the nuts, it's very likely someone else will have the nuts already close to it. So you can create some quite negative situations for yourself, where otherwise you can just limp. And yeah, sometimes you let people overtake you, but you're never that far ahead anyway. It's very much a post-flop game. So get to the flop, be equity driven. Can't really go wrong. Don't love this call, but we'll make it. And we've flopped absolutely nothing whatsoever. This guy's only got a 3% pre-flop raise. Even if we're behind here, he likely has an absolute ton of equity. We're just going to throw our hand away. Any card we want to see on the river here? I don't think so. Maybe an ace. We're not going to get to see a river. No rivers for you, Rich. Ooh. That's quite a cunt, isn't it? His ace is getting crap by the quadroonies. Never mind, kid. Someone did comment on the last video that it's quite annoying that these people are around with like the 20 bigs, the 14 bigs. And they're right, that is quite annoying. But as I responded in the chat to the last video in the comments section, quite often the guys will buy him for 20 and then just run it up and continue playing. Like this guy, don't know if he bought him for 20. He's a pretty bad player and he's just sticking around with 260 bigs, 150 bigs, etc. So yeah, you do have to put up with the people who min buy and don't top up. But they're typically going to be pretty bad players, so you don't mind that. Quite often in this game, I've folded before I've even been dealt all my cards. When you see the Jack 10, 7, 5 coming your way, it doesn't really matter what the last two are going to be. You're just always going to pitch it. I have it set up in here so it sorts your cards for you in rank order. So what's the nuts here? Just 3 queens, isn't it? He's potted the river. I'd imagine he would have 3 queens to pot this river. 3 sevens. Oh no, there's just straight out there. Ignore me. Ignore me. And unsurprisingly, they both had it. Did this guy not raise the nuts on the river? Was the 6-5 the nuts? That's not the thing I'm looking for, is it? Or 8-7. Yeah, the 6-5 was the nuts, and he decided to just call when he got raised on the river, which is an interesting way to play it. They'd already reached a rake cap, so the argument couldn't even be made for hang on, do I want to call here? No, we got a good shot to the nuts, like a 9. An offsuit 9 gives us the nuts. Our flush outs could be very dirty. And as I have mentioned before, I am a fucking absolutely diabolical stain on the game. Keep getting notifications on my phone. My daughter wanted to play some 8-ball pool on the phone yesterday, and now it's notifying me of various random shit I'm not interested in. What seems like every fucking 10 minutes. That will have to go soon. I don't want to diss my daughter for the time she does want to play, but I can't be doing with fucking notifications every 5 past 10 minutes. Double suited kings here. We're just going to flat. We're not going to go for the squeeze. And we're going to flop bottom set, which doesn't fill me with joy. It's pre-flop razor checks. That pleases me somewhat, though. Maybe he's trapping with aces full there, but I think we have a value bet now. Let's try and target 9x. That hasn't that's just 9x. Awkward stack sizes here. There's no draws on the turn, so there's no point checking to him. In terms of to induce. I mean, should we just bet? Timed out. We lost anyway to Queen 9. I was just ready to value on myself there, but fortunately, our opponent didn't have what it took to like value bet his hand when it's just always good versus check. So thank you, Boomerang. My chips certainly did not find their way back to you there as they should have had I not timed out, because I think I was going to bet and just hopefully get a crying call from a lone 9x. I mean, he just has a crystal clear value bet on that river. Turn strips, river's a full house. He might already have had a full house that was better than ours, I'm not sure. Can't be asked reading all that. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but he certainly missed value by not betting the river. Don't think I would have paid off versus bet though, maybe. Because there's just no draws on the turn. So for me to pay that river, I need somebody to be value betting something that isn't even close to nutted. And from what I've seen in these games so far, apart from some very special cases, that just isn't a thing, as we've just seen there. The guy just didn't value bet his full house on the river when he beats almost all of my range. Demonstrates why just like massively overfolding post flop against all but the more special cases is just going to be, it's going to be frustrating and irritating sometimes, but you're not going to be exploited for it because people just do not find the value bets that are thin. You know, you could just fold all of your bluff catchers because in this game it's even way tighter on rivers, in my opinion, than no limit is. You know, on no limit, you know, someone bets a river, you're like, oh, fuck me. I've only got a bluff catcher, but I've got a call sometimes. And then you lose almost all of the time. I think this game is even worse than that. If you just have a pure bluff catcher, unless you're up against like a very special case or every single draw's missed, and you've checked to induce, then there's very little use in hitting the call button with bluff catchers, which makes it very easy in a lot of ways. Makes the game really simple. If you say, right, I'm just not bluff catching ever, apart from like very unique circumstances, and I'm not bluffing ever unless I have like an absolute shit ton of real strong nutted equity. It makes it a very, very, very simple game. Even though you have 6 whole cards, it makes it a very simple game. The problem is when you're at tables like this one now with like all these guys who are relatively tight. I mean, they're all 4 out of the 5 have got like higher than 50 V pips, but that is for this game relatively tight. You just don't see very many big pots. If I could be asked, I would probably drop this table and either start a new one or look at the 4-8 games to see if we can find some higher VP players, but we're in the middle of making a video and don't think it can be asked. What I will do is next time I've got the lobby up. There's only 4 tables running at the minute. Next time one of the 4-8 tables drops to 5 players, I'll quickly open it off the window capture. And if there are some looser players, we'll hop in and we'll scratch one of these 2 tables. open seat at one of the tables now. Let's just take a look at it. Yeah, and it's definitely better. So we joined it. Need to decide which of these two tables we are going to scrap. And it's going to be this one with 2 yellow tags. Can't even be asked playing to my blinds either because we're recording a video, so we're just going to yeah, we're just going to come off it now. Slide this one in. Oh man. What has this dude got? We're beat, but we're getting 1,000,000 to 1, so we're just going to have to pay him. Ace 5. Is it, what did he win with? Straight, sorry. Whatever the fucking straight was. Nice hand, Chief. Nice hand. We want to put an extra 500 chips on here, do you think? I'll pocket 550 is close enough. So were we ahead until the river in that hand? Yeah, well, whatever, it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. So this table looks like it's going to be a little bit more action than the table we just left. Plays slightly lower stakes now. 4-8 are like 8.16 in cents, like 8, so it's a $16 buy-in for 100 bigs. Gonna limp the queens. I don't know why I say we're just gonna limp something, because the exception is going to be when we're racing, not when we're limping. So don't know why I had to preface that with we're just going to limp this particular hand. We'll open this and have a look at the other 4-8 table too. If it looks better than this, in terms of like just like enjoying this game, I'd rather be at lower stakes if the table looks better than be at a boring higher stakes table. And yep, this table looks better too. So we're going to join this with dropping down in the stakes. But hopefully there'll be a bit more action. So just get off that table too. Drag this one in. So you can see at this table we've got 72 VP, we've got 69. More aggression pre-flop too, which is the games I like to be in. I don't want to be in the games where everyone's playing a similar strategy to me, where it's just all limp, because the pots just don't get very big. I want to be the guy that's doing my strategy at the table, and I want most other players not to be doing it. I want to see like the higher pre-flop raise percentages. If we're playing a bunch of people who are playing like 50 VPIP, but single-digit PFR, they're all trying to execute a similar strategy to me, which is see cheap flops and then blow up them post-flop. I want to be in with the guys who don't want to see cheap flops, who want to blow up the pots, and then just give too much action post-flop. Those are the game dynamics I want to be in. So I'll just play whichever tables look most likely to give me that dynamic. Because I am a recreational player, I want to make some money from poker. Well, I need to make some money from poker over the course of the week, the month, the year. But I also want to be in games that suit my style best. So if that means having to play slightly lower, if there's like 2 of these tables running at this stake, then they look better than the 2 tables at the slightly higher stake, then I'm just going to play the lower stake game and be in the games that I think best suit my strategy. Once you get in games where basically the average pre-flop raise is like 7%, then they're not going to be tables where you can get paid pretty well with your nutted stuff because you're playing against a bunch of people who are looking for the nuts themselves. Whereas, like, for example, he's just gone. I'm going to say that guy who's playing like 40 something /7, he's just doing what I'm doing. And I want to play against him. I want to play against the guy who's playing 73-21 because I'm going to make the nuts against him and he's not going to give a fucking pay me. Not going to 3-bet these aces here. Going to see a flop. We're not going to do very well on that flop. And we're going to probably just check fold. Down here, I thought we'd flopped a set, but we haven't. We do have an open end straight draw, though. I'm hoping it doesn't go pot. If anyone puts a pot size bet in here, we're just going to fold. This is half. Oh, it's not half, is it? What's that? 2/3-ish. Don't love it, but we're going to call one because it's pretty high VPIP player. And if we can find an offsuit 5, we might just get the lot. We have a straight. Is it the nut straight? It sure is. We're going to go for a check raise here. Do not get it. We now no longer have the nuts. But I think we do have a value bet. Tried a little bit of 3 tabling again over the weekend. What a difference it makes. I just can't do it. 2 tables feels borderline slow. At a 3rd table, and it just feels fucking manic, beyond manic. My slow old man boomer brain just cannot keep up. We have a nutmaker on the button. And try and see a flop. Hope the guy who straddled doesn't just decide to squeeze, which happens quite a lot, which made me a little bit reticent to do what I've done. But for 2 blinds, when we have like a significant nutmaker, we have like a nut flush potential and Broadway potential. Not going to bet here multi-way. We now have top and bottom pair. If it checks through again, I was going to say I might bet when it goes pot and raise, then we're more than happy to just fuck right off out of there because someone's got 6-7. Now the 10 jacks there. They both had the 6-7. Interesting line from him to just call with the nuts on the turn and then put his last 10 in on the river, which he was always going to do when he no longer had the nuts. Just save 10 blinds for no reason, and I'll put it in now. We have an open-ender here and some backdoor flush draws. So we're going to be trying to see a turn. Assuming it doesn't go bet raise, then we'll be clicking the call button. Should someone request us to put more chips in. I mean, an ace gives us the nuts. Five, 6-3. We don't have the 6-3, so we don't have the nuts. But we do block 3x very hard. Wow, what the fuck? So we don't have the nuts straight. Everyone's putting a lot of money in. I think we just fold. Pretty happy with my fold given the red one and the board pad on the river. Nut flush. What's this guy up to? Did he value better set on the river? Is that what he did there? No, he had a full house too. What? I fucking find it hard to make sense of these replays. What did he have? Full house was, so he didn't have the flush on the river. I just bought over bought. That's what it fucking was. Double suited aces should have opened that, I think. But we've got 3 aces, and I don't like that. Don't like having 3 aces. No idea what to do in this spot. Absolutely no idea whatsoever. Pretty good idea what to do now. I mean, we bet any races, it really stinks. But we do have a value bet. Surely he doesn't like play kings full this way. Which is a hand I was most worried about on the turn. Like, pot the flop, get called, turn a set, but it's vulnerable to the straight, etc. Blocking ourselves a little bit here, but we do have something that maybe wants to try and see a flop. So we've got a shit flush draw, and we've got a gut shot. So this might look pretty attractive, but it doesn't feel very attractive. Feels like I might be getting binned here. If he pots it again, we're just out. He doesn't pot it, but he bets pretty big. And our hand is pretty shit. No set, no bet from Reggie. We're out. Right, where have all these players gone? They've gone. So let's have a look back at this table and see what's going on. Does the table I'm pulling up look better than this one? Well, it would. It would look very much, but we'll get on the wait list because it looks pretty decent. It's one of the tables we left, but since we left, it's significantly improved. I think some of the other people had the same opinion that I had, which was this table's shit, I'm out of here. And it's like refilled with some pretty interesting looking players. Double suited kings here. That'll be top set. What a wonderfully imaginative line by me, just mashing the pot button. And we'll keep mashing the pot button. Ace Queen now gets there. which she can have in many different combinations, I guess. Fold, because he's not going to raise without ace queen. Not a chance. 0% chance. Not happening. Not a thing. Right, so we've now got the table we left earlier with all the chips. So we're going to leave this one again. We're going to come back to this one. When you're only two tabling, you've got to make sure you're always at the best two tables you can find. As you can see, this is the table we were at earlier. We left with the 289 bigs. And there was, everyone was just like a single figure VPIP, single figure PFR just about. Whereas now we've got two guys, three guys in, all this guy's about to leave the table, you would imagine, with the double digit and pretty loose ranges. Switching tables in, that does make it more difficult to nail down exactly how profitable my session's been. But you've got a stack like that at the higher stake game, and unless something goes terribly wrong, then you know it's going to be a winning session. Don't think I've done the reload thing too often. Not in love with this defend, but we have the suited ace, suited king, and like a low to middle card rundown. So we're just going to flick our 2.5 bigs in and hope to flop gin. Have two pair. I would have probably just called against this guy's 7.2 bigs, but when this guy calls two, no. We're out of that. We would have rivered the best hand, I think. Yes, we would have, but never mind. Probably going to play for another half an hour. Then let's say start work at 1. It's currently 11:30. I'm going to visit mother before picking the young man up who I'm supporting today. So yeah, I've got another half an hour of playing me. Maybe slightly less. Maybe we'll finish about 10 to 12. Yeah, 10 to 12 seems right. So 25 more minutes. And then I am pretty much out of here. And there definitely won't be another video. Maybe Thursday, because Thursday I know I'm starting at 1 o'clock. I don't know what times I'm starting Tuesday, Wednesday, because the young man I was supporting, his mum's on holiday and his sister's looking after him. So my usual work schedule in the holidays with Quinn is up in the air a little bit because I just told his sister I'll be her slave. I'll just work around her day rather than because I'm not sure what her plans are. But Thursday, I know we're definitely not starting till 1 o'clock because it's cycling on a Thursday and the cycling session doesn't start until the afternoon. So I know Thursday I'm definitely not working until 1. So if I'm up early enough in the morning and I haven't tilted my tits off at 6-card PLO, there's a chance there'll be another video Thursday morning. If there isn't, it's because I didn't wake up in time or because it's done me fucking brain again. Because I've somehow... The only way it'll go wrong for me in these games is if I decide, oh, fuck the limp strategy, let's just like ram and jam. Because that's when the variance really takes a bite. But I'm pretty convinced that the strategy I've got for these exact games is the correct one. And if we keep just building our bankroll, because we only started off with $100, which is obviously it's not enough for 6-card PLO. But yeah, we got a chance to run it up. Don't need to do any withdrawing, so there's a chance that in a couple of weeks we could have ran it up significantly. And if we don't, and we lose a bit, then just say we run it up to 300, then lose it all. We've only lost $100, haven't we? And as I said, we have had the windfall this week. That pretty much means if I could just set the month off if I wanted to. If I wanted to, I could just say I'm not playing poker for a month. But I'm way too addicted to poker for that. This guy's got more than the hint of the shit reg about him, I think. We're going to be check raising all in with our gut shot and our nut flush draw here. He's definitely got more of it, more than a hint of the shit reg about him. I don't like the fact we're blocking our own outs with the diamonds. Snap calls, the board double pairs. I mean, he shouldn't have 9x in theory, but of course he can just have some random 9x because you have 6 hole cards. But at this point, we're just all in, and I suspect we're going to lose quite a lot. Yep, he has the 9-8, and we are drawing dead. Maybe we can just get away on that turn when the board pairs. But he isolated a tight player pre-flop. I mean, he's won the pot, so, but this isn't me being salty. But no, I don't know. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. I mean, he seems to do okay in the games. Yeah, I'm saying nothing because it was probably fine what he did. But yeah, I do think there is a touch of the shit reg about him. You salty fat cunt, Reg. Maybe we just, once the board pairs, maybe we just check the turn, give up. Maybe we could have saved 50 bigs there. I'm going to go back and look at that one later. Ah, we actually lost more than, we lost 120 bigs. You wouldn't imagine top sets out there on this table. Top set wasn't out there. Another thing I like about these games is there's, as far as I can tell, and I've looked for it, there's almost no 6-card PLO content out there. Which means people are out there figuring this shit out for themselves. And we're humans, and we're not good at that. In general, as we flop the absolute fucking nuts here. One big blind. We're just going to raise versus one big blind to about... Don't fucking time out, Reg, whatever you do. And he just folds. Yeah, Yeah, there's no content out there. And like No Limit Hold'em was fucking brilliant for 50 years. And then people started making training content, and in 10 years it went to dog shit. I can't imagine there's going to be too many people making 6-card PLO content anytime soon. Feels like it's a game. It's going to be like close to impossible to solving due to the nature of how it plays. So yeah, I think this is a game that isn't likely to get shit anytime soon. Don't think the min race is going to be a good strategy. Considering like value betting our top pair on flush draw, but decided against it. Don't think we're going to win this pot. We're a big dog to win this pot. Can we value bet? I don't think so. We had the best hand. Did he have something he could have paid us with? I'm not going to look at that thing again because it just confuses the crap out of me. Top set, gut shot, second nut flush draw. I don't mind putting some money in this pot. So we are up against a straight. We're going to rip one off. Pair the board. Now we've got the second nut flush. This could get ugly. Against someone with these stats. Oh man, he just has the nuts, doesn't he? Just pair the board. Is this player capable of just using the king of clubs? Well, you can just have king queen with the king X of clubs, can he? We're just going to check fold. I have AA. Delighted for you, mate. So do I. Absolutely delighted for you. God knows what he was showing me there, but good for you. If you bluffed me, sir, then seriously, nice one. I don't think paying off 41 14s that go raise, flop, pot, turn, pot, river with the second nuts is going to be a good strategy. Are we going to pay this guy's full house off here? No, he didn't have a full house. These guys who show 3 or 4 cards are just trying to create an image for themselves that isn't true. You know, they're just like hiding the cards that give them the nuts, showing the ones that just are nothing. And they're going to hope that people are going to be like, oh, this guy never has anything, I'm just going to pay him off. He's 41-14, he'll almost always have it. Don't 3-bet. Don't do it, sir. Don't do it. Thank you. Now, we'd like lots of red ones or a queen high flop, please, dealer. Black ones and a king high. Marvellous. We do turn trips. Well, bet and hope not to get raised. We're going to play our button. We are not going to continue drawing to a ship flush. Again, we're going to play our button with a hand that's reasonably connected. We get the fucking 4 big blind 3-bet from someone who's probably not very good. Things could get ugly. We do want to see here a 9, don't we? An offsuit 9, please, dealer. Make a flush. Not proud of it. And we're just going to take my money. This is a bad call. No, it's not a bad call. It's not a bad call. Felt like a bad call. Yeah, this guy, in my opinion, is just raising too much pre-flop. Fine, he's got really big chips at both tables, so I mean, maybe I'm just fucking wrong. He's certainly way more experienced in this game than me. He's played 80,000 hands. And that's just in this club. So, maybe. But it feels to me like he's just raising too much pre-flop. This isn't a great hand, but we have the button, and it has some nut potential. Top 2. Reasonable. This table's dying. Maybe we just call this. Someone's come. We can probably see the session out. Only got 5 more minutes to go. Maybe no. Tell you what we'll do. We'll just stand up here. We'll put any more blinds in here. And I guess we'll play this table round now because we've put our big blind in. Then we'll have a look at our balance, see how much we've won or lost this session. Feels like it's just been a small win now after we torched off 1,000 chips over here. But we'll take a look when we're done. We'll play our last hand. And flop quads. How nice. Oh, quick, leave the table, stand up, stand up, stand up. Did. Stood up before I put my blinds in. We'll take that. So my sessions, I think we started with like 4,800 chips. What was it? I think it was that. Let's have a look. We're not going to show you on here because it shows other people's balances, but I'll be able to tell you approximately how much we've won or lost there. I won around 400 chips, which is $8. Would have been a lot better had we not torched that 1,000 chips with the nut flush draw when the board paired. But never mind. Enjoyed it. Hope you guys did too. And maybe see you again Thursday. Maybe not, depending on stuff. Take care, everybody. Have a great week. And bye-bye for now.